Hello there, happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me here tonight. We are continuing on the Aurifil March block of the month. Even though it's April now, we are finishing up the March block of the month. It's the Dolomites by Carol Lillis Shaw. And we are working on some raw edge applique for this. So we've been trying to place all the pieces and we will be working on that tonight. So thanks for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 9:30 Eastern and 6:30 Pacific. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So thanks for joining me, everyone. Tonight, like I said, we are continuing on the Dolomites block. I know this looks totally crazy, but this is a representation of the fabrics that I'm using. We started placing our pieces last night, and I'm hoping to get a lot farther on that. I'm hoping to get the whole thing placed tonight. We'll see. That would be great because we still have to sew and press everything down. Right now, I'm using the Stick and Stitch, not the Stick and Stitch, the Steam-A-Seam stabilizer. That's this. It's sticky on both sides. Fusible. It's a fusible web, not a stabilizer. And it has a sticky side, so I can kind of press things down and see if I like them, and they'll stay in place, but I can move them and adjust them before I permanently fuse. So we are working on that now. We're kind of deciding what pieces keep their 1/4 inch edge and which ones don't. That's been a little bit of a challenge, but we're gonna continue on that. So thanks, you guys. I'm gonna flip you around and let's see where we're at with this. All right, so right here on my iPad, this is the actual block. And this is kind of what I'm going by. Instead of the water down here, I've done sort of flowers instead. So here is where we're at. Oops, got a little caught on my sewing machine there. Let me get situated here. Thanks everyone for joining me again. We will be getting back up on YouTube as well. I know this week I've just been on Facebook, but we're getting that figured yet. So don't worry. We'll be back and forth and on both again soon. All right, so we've placed 2 pieces. So now these are not fused, and actually I am very, very low on fusible web at my Steam-A-Seam. I actually only have this one piece. This is like half a piece. The rest of that sheet I've cut into little strips, and I've just been placing them on the edge, and I actually don't even have enough for every edge. So I'm placing them on the edges that are going to have the raw cut. So that nice sharp cut. So I'm deciding that this piece is the piece that's going to be in front of every other fabric piece. So I have a nice clean edge here and here. Now this piece, this is a nice clean edge, but then I have tucked it under a little bit here. So this edge is underneath this top piece. So I don't know. We'll see how this all fuses eventually. Right now it's sort of sticking. My Steam-A-Seam is pretty old, and I'm putting it all on just this white background here. So, gosh, you know what? I have another mat. I might kind of want to make this mat a little bit bigger. My wool mat. I think I want to make that bigger because we're dealing with a 12.5 inch or so block here. Hold on a sec. Let's get these. All right, I actually have a couple more wool mats, so I think I might adjust here because I don't want to be moving this around, especially since it's not completely stuck very well. So before we get too much farther, I think I'm gonna use these 2 because I know they're the same height. There we go, and I'm gonna remove this one. There, and now I have a big pressing mat. Man, I should have just got a big pressing mat, huh? But oh well. This will work. There. So now I don't actually have to move this chunk down here anymore, which is good. So, all right. Oh, yeah, it's Gretchen. I saw that picture. So Gretchen used pins to pin all of hers down before fusing. All right, let's decide what's next. Okay, so, this is going to be interesting to kind of lay out. We're going to have to keep moving things around. But let's get this F piece. So again, this fabric, I want the furthest towards us. So I'm going to give a nice good cut to that. And I'll leave the other edges a little raw. Oh yeah, I could use a little glue stick to get this down too. Let's see what I got for that. There. So if anything is popping up on me, I'll use this glue stick. All right, I need letter F. Oh, it's easy because I'm familiar with the fabric. So I'm going to get you guys a little lower here so you can see this section. We will work our way up. Okay, so this kind of meets right at the middle here. This is the edge that's going to be super duper perfect. So I'm going to cut that on the inner line, and then this extra 1/4 inch I'm going to just let be. So, but first I want to put the fusible down. So I think I'm saving a couple pieces, but this is kind of a long piece. So I need to put this kind of over where my line is going to be, and maybe even a little bit more. So this is just a piece of paper even. Oh man. There we go. I have hardly any of this fusible left. I'm so scared I'm going to run out of this before the project's over. And you know what? John asked me if I needed anything from Amazon. I should have said some more fusible. All right, so I'm actually going to just kind of place this over the line. I want a lot of it on that. I want it on that inner line, but then in a bit. I also want it all on the fabric. So this is a little bit smarter than I was yesterday, I think. I was trying to place it by looking this way and trying to figure it out, but I think that worked really a whole lot better just then. So I'm going to cut off the extra. I have not measured this base area. So in the instructions, it used an interfacing, like a non-woven interfacing that was 12.5 inches. I am just using a piece of cotton muslin that I happen to have. So I'm not using the correct fabric for that either. But we're going to make it work with what I have. All right, so I'm going to fuse that piece on. Just going to fuse that. So this is the part where I'm fusing this piece to this fabric, and I still have to peel off this edge, and then it'll reveal the other half of the fusible, and then that's when we can super duper fuse it. But I don't want to do that till we're completely done. For now, I'm going to cut on that inner line here. This is going to be my nice edge. Yep, Lucy, the freezer paper is working fabulously so far. So if you guys have been watching me work on this, all of my decisions have been based on that I don't have fusible, like enough fusible for this project. All right, I'm going to take the freezer paper off. So this is a little bit of an awkward way for me to be working on this project, like with just only this much fusible. I'm not even going around all the edges because I don't think I have enough to go around all the edges. So we're going to make it work. I might, like you guys said, I might put a little dab of glue down there. So, all right, so I'm going to take off the extra paper backing, and there you can kind of see, the final like glue right here. That's what we still need to fuse. It's fused onto this fabric, but not onto this fabric. But with the Steam-A-Seam brand, it's sticky as well. So I can stick it on here just to kind of keep it sort of in place. And you know what? I'm barely even going to stick it. I'm just going to lay it right there because that's kind of how it's going to be. Let's just start filling in this area. I'm going from what's most forward to what's most furthest back, which may not be the best idea, but because I'm going to have to keep on picking up these edges and putting things underneath. But I'm in it now. This is what I'm doing. It's just helping me decide where my long fusible pieces need to be. So, all right, here I'm going to go along this edge. So I think I'm going to just keep using long pieces, and then if I end up having not enough later, we'll just deal with it then. Oh, yeah, so we're at least 12.5 inches wide because this is an edge and this is an edge, so I know for sure we're 12.5 inches. Beforehand, I made sure, I mean, I didn't measure, but I was pretty sure it was bigger. So yeah, we do have like 2-3 inches on either side yet, so I think we're pretty good. All right, I'm just trying to take the one side off of there. There, okay, one piece of paper. And I think I'm going to do that thing again. I'm going to lay it down here, and I want to stick it. So this is the edge I'm going to cut. So I have that super nice edge again, and I want as much fusible on there as I can. But I still want the fusible on the edge. I think I got to straighten this a little bit. Let's see, did we get it there? Yeah, just a little bit up there. Ooh, I moved that quite a bit, didn't I? Oh, I think I might, you know what, I'm going to do this again. I have to make sure that that inner edge is actually on the line here. All right, there we go. That looks a little bit better. Jean Truelove always uses a glue stick for her even huge appliques. So Marlene, are you saying that she doesn't use the fusible at all? She just only uses a glue stick? Because I suppose we could just do that. We could just glue this whole thing down and then stitch it. And then once it's washed, all that glue will kind of go away, right? That is definitely an option. All right, I'm going to trim just this a little bit so it's a little nicer. But I am still kind of leaving quite an edge. I can cut into it a little bit into the paper. All right, and now here is my super nice edge. I'm going to cut this really well. Did I fuse this yet? No, I don't think I did. Let's fuse that first. Fussels. All right. And if I did fuse it, I'm fusing it again. Oh, so only glue stick. All right. Well, let's use this as an excuse to use up the rest of my Steam-A-Seam. Then I can confidently throw the bag away. And then if I run out, I will use glue for the rest. And you know what? I'll probably add a little bit of glue on these edges. All right. Now I'm going to give this a good cut. It is this edge, isn't it? Yeah. I really like these two fabrics together. So this is going to be the exposed edge. The two other edges are going to be tucked underneath the pieces below. So I'm actually kind of going probably in the opposite order I should, but I'm in it now. Oh, interesting, Marlene. Okay, so yeah, let's dab a little glue stick on here too. I'm going to tear the paper off on an edge that will be hidden. There we go. Oh, and I forgot to take the little paper off. So I'm going to be revealing the fusible here. There we go. But having the fusible right on the cut edge is going to keep it really nice. So, all right, this is going to go, it looks like about kind of somewhere around like that. And it'll get tucked under these pieces. I'm just going to lift that up. You know, none of this is permanent right now. And we're going to keep doing this as we go. Eventually, I might have to shift this a little bit or move some things around. But so far, so good. This is kind of our little meadow area Ooh, make sure my fabric is still flat there. Okay, you guys, let's move on to these kind of greeny mountain bits. So what should be most in front? I'm kind of thinking we go right to left. Yep, we're going to go right to left. I have no real reason for that, but we're going to do it. Actually, this is a pretty good spot all tucked into here. And this mountain is actually kind of in front, isn't it? So we should treat all of these as in front of these two things. So, you know what? Maybe I do the M and the K on top and then this L tucked underneath. So let's do the M and then the K, and then we will slide this L underneath there. All right. Oh, and there's the K as well. All right, so this goes like this, and it's going to tuck right in underneath here. So this one's going to be tucked, but all of these other edges are going to be exposed in theory. Ooh, that's a lot of... You know what? Maybe here I use the glue stick. Why don't we just use the glue stick? We'll figure it out. Oh, and I do like that idea of that nice edge. Oh, I don't know, you guys. Should we just try doing the glue stick now? Let's do it. That was doing a thing, though. Should we keep doing that or not? What do you guys think? Should I keep going with our original plan here, or try the glue stick? What direction does this go in? I think this goes... I think it goes like that. All right. I kind of can't decide. Let's just use up our strips. We'll just, we'll use up, I do like using things up, so I think we'll use up the strips, but I think I'll definitely do a pile of glue on this before completely, you know, before fusing it, because I think there's some areas that are going to need it for sure. But let's get this, this one's going to be the big one with the fusible, so we'll do fusible on 3 edges of this one. Oops, I'm missing it. Indecisive tonight on this. All right, there. That's one. Yeah, I was thinking I could do a dotted line. I think I'll probably do that when I get all the way to the end. And I do have some pieces here, so let's try and use up these pieces on this edge. All right, and we'll just kind of extend that here. We're experimenting. Okay. And then I still do actually want this sliver here too. If we run out of pieces, we run out of pieces. Actually, that's kind of my goal. I like using stuff up, so I do want to get rid of all this with, get rid of it with this project. All right, I don't want to get on either of these, so we'll kind of place it. I think we can actually go down a hair. Cut this sliver off. All right, let's see what we got there. All right, I think we're good. All right, I'm gonna fuse all this and we'll see what happens. So I'm thinking now that my fabric that has this purple, I might actually really want the fusible pieces on this, because this is going to tear off a little bit. Like, we're going to have trouble with this. Although I could overlap these pieces. These could be the furthest and back. Oh, so these might not be an issue. These might be in the back. Well, actually, there's some parts that are exposed. So maybe I will, right now, while I still have some, I will put it on these guys, just so I don't totally mess this up. So let's finish this piece first, and then I think I'll put them on all of those. Let's cut this first. All right, so now this edge I'm gonna keep, but you know, I'm just gonna do that 1/4 inch, not a ton. And then these 3 edges I'm gonna make really nice if I can. Which means I'm cutting it on that inner edge. Yeah, the stabilizer is going to hold this edge a little bit down. That's why I'm kind of wanting these edges that are going to be like the outward facing edges, the exposed edges, I guess. That's why I'm wanting those to be the ones that get the stabilizer, because, you know, I'm getting it right on that edge there, so it's going to hold all that. At least that's the theory, right? So that's what I'm hoping for by doing this. All right, taking off the outer paper layer. Oop, that one is connected to this one. So this is basically our glue that will be gluing it to the background fabric and the other pieces later. Oh, that's right, we had 2 pieces there. Okay, now this one gets, oop, let's get this off. Actually, I can kind of tuck it where it needs to be based on that line. So that piece would go kind of about right there. It looks like it connects right with like this point. All right, now let's take that paper off. Oop, there. Somewhere along those lines is this piece. It's coming together though. It's looking pretty. All right, yes. So before I get too far, I think I do want to put some slivers on these pieces, because I know, like right here, it's going to be exposed a little bit. I think I'm going to have the mountains on top, but right there, that's going to be exposed, and that's going to be exposed, and then maybe this one. So why don't I get this piece and this piece? I think that will do the job. So like I said, I want to do that before I get too far ahead here. And then we can trim those already too, really. I probably don't need the whole edge, but I'm going to do the whole edge. It'll help this particular fabric stay down later too, I think. And if, like I said, if I run out, we will use the glue. All right. Let's trim that excess. We can use that. Preserving what we can. All right, let's fuse that. I'm a little afraid I'm going to fuse it. So I can't I can't get the iron too close to these because it'll fuse down. So I got to remember, stay away from this fabric. But all right, let's trim. I'm only going to trim this edge. This is a nice edge. Oh, you know what? Actually, this is going to be tucked under, isn't it? So maybe I don't want to cut all the way down there. I do need to cut like right here though, because I think this is going to be overlapped. Oh gosh, now maybe I should wait. You know, I've already cut into there, but now I'm thinking this is going to be overlapped a little bit. Although this could be laying on top, I suppose. All right, now I'm scared. I'm going to leave these pieces for later. I am going to still fuse the little bits now, but I think I'm going to wait to cut them out till later. Okay, so A. Okay, B, I'm going to put a little piece on. C, I'm not. That's going to be underneath all of them. And then D, I'm going to get a long piece here. So let's do B. I just want, like right here, this piece looks great. Oh, flipped over. This one's like a brain twister for me, this particular fusible applique project. We're definitely doing it differently than what I'm used to, than my norm. You know, I guess I'm just trying to be frugal by just using the pieces that I have. All right, I'm going to even leave those on. So C doesn't get one. And then D, I wanted a long piece there. And I think I got some extra stuff sitting around here. All right, I think that looks good. And you know what? I probably don't need any more than that. So let's fuse that. Okay. Now I feel like I have those prepped at least, because those are the ones, this particular fabric is what I'm going to want, like that nice edge on later. Because all these other ones will probably keep their edge a little bit. All right. I feel like that was stressful. All right, let's do this K. So I think it goes this direction. So this will get tucked under, but these edges will be on top. So I got one piece here. Let's go right like so. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna get a little piece on top because I'm being super picky now. All right, and then we'll get a piece down this edge as well. Oh, so a lot of you guys are losing signal tonight. That's interesting. It doesn't seem like it's on my end. I usually get a warning if I got a low signal. So it seems to be okay over here right now. Who knows? Oh yes, this is totally decoupage applique. I kind of feel that way for sure. I'm going to scooch this down. All right, there's a little piece. Let's fuse those. We'll get that over here, and then we'll get our dark green pieces. Oop, let's cut this first. Hot, hot, hot. Yeah, right there. Let's get a kind of a little edge here. There, and then these are the ones where we get real nice. Okay, let's remove our paper. I should remove on the part that is hidden so I don't rough up that edge. Oh, let's take off the stabilizer first. That's sometimes easier with the freezer paper still on. I'm definitely building up a pile of little papery and fabric bits here. Ooh, I can't get that piece. Get the stiletto out. There we go. Now we're ready. And I'm going to take this paper off right away too. So if you really can't get the paper off, this one's being a little touchy, you can just draw like an X in the paper. So I just, with my stiletto, I made an X, and now I can pull it off. All right, so this is gonna get tucked under here. And we'll look something like that. All right. We're working on it here. So let's get these colors in, and then we'll get this light colored one over here when we're done with that. Okay, so what does this need? So it's going to be, this one is going to be tucked under every side except for this one. So this is where I want that edge. I think right like that. Okay. Let's fuse that without touching the other ones. I'm gonna get you guys a little higher so you can kind of see how it's developing here. All right, so all these edges I'm just gonna trim kind of to that 1/4 inch just so they're not obnoxious. Don't have to be perfect on those. This one is where I'm gonna give that nice edge, and I'm gonna do that just right now in case my freezer paper falls off while I cut the rest. Okay, that's the good edge, and then all these other edges are tucked underneath other pieces of fabric. Okay, so this should line up with this point. Oh, and you know, it comes to a point here, so let's actually trim this away a little bit. And I'm going to actually do that same thing here. There we go, because otherwise it's going to overlap those little areas. Okay, but the rest, it should just be tucked under. Well, let's remove that paper. Here too, you can draw that little X if it needs to, if it's being annoying. Okay. See, this is why it was probably silly going from the frontmost thing to the backmost thing. So we're going to just rearrange a bit here. That gets under here. This gets lined up about there. It's working. We're getting it done. I think this probably has to angle down a little bit more. Let's get some kitty scratching working. All right, looks like I gotta go a little bit more. This is the trick. We're lining it all up now. It does feel a little bit like decoupage a little bit. All right, but I think that's looking right. Okay, I think that's probably actually the hardest piece to probably tuck in there. I'm gonna just get this. Let's get this green guy in here right away too, quick. All right, so this is gonna have an exposed edge here and here. It looks like. So. There. Oop, didn't get it. It's coming together. I mean, now you can kind of see it. I know I'm totally in concentration mode. Oh, I can see through. Oh, I should have figured that out earlier. So I can see when I hold it up to the light, I can see the line that I need. Definitely should have thought of that sooner, but we're fine. All right, let's fuse that. I'm a little over the edge there. Okay. So these, ooh, hot. These I'm just going to trim. This is the parts that are going to get tucked under, or they'll just be the edge of the fabric, really. This one's going to be the edge of our block. So actually that one maybe we'll tack down with some glue. Same with some of these corners we should tack down. Yeah, I'm going to put a dab of glue on these outermost pieces. All right, did I just mess this up? Nope, those are there, and then that's exposed and this is exposed. Okay. Ooh, I kind of cut that funny, but I think we're okay. All right. Paper off. All right, this gets tucked under these two. Kind of overlaps this guy. Let's shimmy sham him up there. One thing I'm going to have to kind of keep my eye on is that the bottom is kind of the same width as the top. I really like this green here. I think that's pretty though. So actually, you know what? I think maybe I won't glue things down until we're fused, and then I can put it like a dab on the edges. I think that's what we'll do, just to make it easier to press or to sew later, because we still have to sew these down after we fuse them. All right, moving on. We got this letter I. I think it's starting to develop here. It's starting to develop. There you can kind of see. I do like these flowers in front. It's almost like a field is coming and it's getting closer and closer. Like we're starting to walk here and then we're walking into the distance. Then it turns into like these trees, and I'm liking the concept of this with the flowers. The water is really pretty, but I just saw these pretty fabrics and they were calling to me, and it's like, why? It can be a meadow. All right. This is an odd shape. I think it goes like this. So this is now the other mountain. So I think this edge needs to be good and this edge needs to be good, and everything else is going to be tucked under. So, all right, let's just trim some of this away. There we go. And I think I ran out of all my little pieces, so let's get another one. We're doing not too bad with preserving these little pieces, so I'm actually pretty surprised. Yes, I am following. I did try and follow the green theme. So this month, the theme is green. So every month there's a color and a place in Italy, and then a color theme that kind of matches the Aurifil builders, oh gosh, what are they called? The building blocks, builders blocks? I forget now. But it's their cute little things of 3 threads. So they're these color builders, that's what they're called. And they are all color themed, and this month's is the green. I have not checked the size of this. That's a good point. We should probably do that. I'm just kind of guessing that we're at the 12 inch or ultimately like 12 and a half, and then it'll be once it's in the quilt, it'll be 12 inch. Why don't we do that? So from here to here, it should be about 12 and a half inches. So this is where we should like work our way up. Okay, so it's actually 13 inches right now, but I did leave a lot extra. So, I'd rather be able to crop in than not have enough. So we are leaving quite a bit. I would like to get right on this point here, but, we'll see how it goes. So far, we are in that bigger area, so that makes me happy. Better being a little bit bigger there than not big enough, I think. We got 15 minutes here yet. I think we might get pretty close. I mean, it's coming. I mean, it feels a little slow going, but we really are kind of coming along here. If we get it to the point that all the pieces are on, I will fuse it down tonight. I
I don't trust letting it sit without fusing it. All right, so these are the bigger edges, and let's see. Oh, this is a side edge. Let's trim that too. Okay, so now this edge and this edge are the fancy edges. Yep, had to double check there. These edges I'm trying to do a good job at cutting straight and like one cut if I can. Oh, the planning this all out, coloring this all in. It seems like an extra step, but holy cow, am I always glancing at this. I am fully using this key the entire time. So, I got pieces of stuff laying everywhere. I mean, it's a pretty big mess, but yeah, having that really, really, really is making a helpful difference here. So I'm happy about that. Ooh, did I fuse this down enough? It's getting kind of stuck. I think we're fine. Oh, it's just, like I said, this fusible is pretty dang old. I don't think it's happy with me. That's why I'm using it up today. You're out of here. Wow, yeah. This piece is not playing nice. There we go. Okay, now this gets... Let's pull this off. Okay, so this piece gets lined up right with this, but underneath... Oh yeah, I'm needing this to... This needs to get tucked under here, but I think we're going to have to scooch over this piece all the way over to the edge. So I'll show you in a sec. This flower piece, this piece seems like it's too far that way, because this is supposed to be the end line here. So let's tuck that under a little. And I think we're not really tucked under very much, so let's scooch this guy down. That's why I didn't want to fuse anything quite yet, because I think, yeah, we're kind of making all these adjustments. I think I did cut this piece a little bit bigger, so it's okay to hang off this way, but I think this is looking good. Now, technically, I probably could fuse this bottom area, but that scares me. I'm gonna just keep going. Hey, but we're done with the green area. It's coming along. All right, let's move on. So I think the next most in front thing is this rocky bit right there. So, gosh, how does this go? Like this. So this part will be tucked underneath, but all these other sides are going to be exposed. So let's get it on all of those edges. I'm just going to trim a little bit here. It's bothering me. Okay. So this one will use up a bit of the fusible. Let's put this guy here. All right, I'm going to trim those bits off. Okay, and we have a couple more strips left, and then I still have this whole sheet that I can cut strips off. So man, we're doing way better as far as preserving these strips than I thought. So that's kind of cool. Maybe we will tack a few underneath here. Okay, where else are we going here? Okay, I'm gonna just kind of, can I see through? This one's a little harder to see through, but let's see if we can get it. I think that's probably good. Let's hold it up to the light. I can't really tell. I think we're underneath there. And then what other piece was it? 1, 2, this side. Yep, didn't do that side yet. I'm just going to kind of lay it here. Let's flip it over. It's easier. Then I'll trim that little piece off there. I don't think I gotta scooch up this way. There we go. All right, let's trim. I'm gonna pull it down so I'm not wasting as much. And I'm gonna cut this little edge. All right. Whew. There we go. This is a hefty piece, this one. Well, if we get this fused down, like if we don't finish this tonight, all these pieces, and we get it fused down tomorrow, I think we can start sewing on this tomorrow as well. And we'll still finish it this week. No problem, I don't think. All right, I'm cutting nicely on the edges now. Trying to cut straighter than what I drew here. All right. Let's remove those pieces. Oh, you've been making masks. That's awesome, Renee. I think she is. So Gina's asking if my mom is doing this quilt. She did the first two. I have not seen a picture of the third one. I haven't seen her do this one yet. So I think she's been making masks and stuff though too. So maybe she hasn't worked on this one yet. But I do know she did the first two. I don't think she was going to work on this project, but then all of a sudden she's showing pictures of finished blocks. So it caught up to her, this project, I guess. All right. So now this has to get tucked under, but it also should line up there and over here. So actually, I think that's pretty good. Let's just kind of lift all this up. Again, it's probably stupid working from the front forward. Nudge it about. There. Not too shabby. All right, let's do the other mountains that get tucked under here. Then we got the mountain tops and then the sky. That's it. All right, O goes like this. So this again has 3 edges that we're going to need to address. Let's do this one first. Yeah, I fused that. Okay. And then, oh, this is my last piece of cut out stuff, so we'll have to cut a few more strips after this. Easy enough. I do have some left. All right. Let's go right there. And what was the other side? Here. Oh, I didn't get that side. Oh, kind of got a lot there, but that'll do. All right, let's press that. Oh yeah, it's all online learning by us too, I think. I think they're on spring break now, but they start up again soon, and then it's all online. Okay, these are my two kind of tucked under edges. And then these three are the nice edges. This freezer paper method worked perfectly for our little dilemma of not having enough steam fusible web, so I'm very happy with how it's turning out with the freezer paper. Oh, Hobby Lobby opened up and then the state forced it closed. Yeah. Yeah. Guess crafting isn't deemed essential. But you don't want tons of people touching everything either. Our hardware store is still open by us, but they've shut the front area, and then you buy ahead or you ask them what you want, and then they'll go get it for you. It's kind of cool. It's like a little kiosk almost, but seems to be working well because they don't want people walking around and like touching all the screws and all the nuts and stuff. I mean, all the things. They can't. I don't know how you keep all that sterilized or clean or anything. So their solution is good, I think. They will go get what you want. Oh, they said they are essential. I'm curious what their reasoning was for that. Oh, and your store only allows 10 at a time. We drove past the liquor store on the way home. It's right by us, and they had a line out the door with people like 6 feet apart in the line. So a dashed line, let's call it. And they were letting in only one person at a time to do their shopping and come through or something like that. It was limited. So a person next in line would get waved in when the amount of people were down enough. All right, this gets tucked under all of this. But man, we were going to go grocery shopping and it was the parking lot was so packed that we were like, this is stupid. We are not doing this. And so we turned around and then we ordered online. John wanted to go in because he wanted to see if they had like Clorox bleach and that sort of stuff because he didn't think you could get that as part of the online thing, but it turns out you could. So we ordered online for pickup, but they are so backlogged with the pickups that we actually won't be able to pick our stuff up until Thursday of next week. So that is where we are in queue for food. So I'm glad we bought a lot of it. But yeah, so now we have to figure out this week worth of food yet. I think we'll be fine, but we're going to be getting real creative here with what we have left over. So that was kind of like whoa, okay, I guess we will wait till next Thursday to have lettuce and eggs. So that was a surprise. So we'll definitely, when we feel like we got a week's left and not a couple days left, we will order online faster next time for sure. Oh, here I can kind of see through. That's nice. There. Oh yeah, that was my last strip. So let's cut another one out of here. This has been working just fine, and we do have enough. I suppose I could have gone the short way. Oh well. All right, and right there, and then we'll trim. So we are not essential either. So we don't have any workers coming to the office, but John and I are still going in to fill orders and make kits and that sort of thing. So it's just been John and me. And man, you guys are making us feel like an essential business. I appreciate all your orders. And we have the new embroidery of the month was released today, and we are, last time I checked, we had only 18 of the bundles left, and I checked like in the afternoon, so there's probably only a few left, which is so awesome. You guys are great. And yes, you've been ordering kits and just other stuff and really making us feel like, oh, we're essential. People need stuff to do and just to feel calm and stitch and make something. That's just, when you're making something, when you end up with like a real thing, it feels like an accomplishment. And I think, and the process is just so calming. I think we all kind of need a little bit of that. So I'm glad you guys think we're a little essential, I suppose. We appreciate it a lot. Especially, you never know what's going to happen with all of what's going on and stuff. So you guys are keeping us in business here yet. That's we appreciate it so much. Oh, you like the flowers better than the water. I just when I was picking fabrics, this fabric just jumped out at me, and I was like, oh, I gotta use that. I don't know why, but I gotta use it. And I do. I think it's looking really nice as like a meadow instead of the lake. I mean, the lake's totally fine, but I don't know. The blues weren't calling to me in the bin, and that flower fabric was. Oh, it's so coming together here. Oh, and it's 9:30. You guys, I don't think we'll finish this. I think actually we might probably stop here. But we're getting there. We are real close here. And everything's just kind of still stuck down, with that temporary Steam-A-Seam 2 fusible. But it's looking pretty good. This angle's kind of a little goofy, but I don't care. I like it. So we have the snow-topped little toppers to these, and then it's pretty on the white, but like it's gonna get, I'm just turning these the wrong way just so you guys can see, but it's gonna get super dark here, so all of a sudden this whole thing is going to feel different. I mean, these aren't the positions, I'm just trying to get like what some dark areas would look like. So it's gonna all of a sudden feel so different once we have this sky, and then this will just be popping off of the background. I think it's going to be really kind of cool. So I'm excited tomorrow to get the rest of this done, to get the rest of it on here. We will fuse it down for sure tomorrow. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't fuse it down. We'll put, a little bit more fusible if it feels like it's not entirely on the back, or some glue, but I think we have enough fusible now all of a sudden, which is great. And then we will start sewing, and we will finish up all the sewing on Friday. That's going to be a little bit of a challenge because I'm only using my little straight stitch sewing machine. So we're going to have to I can either straight stitch around all these edges, or I could get the other machine out where the feed dogs are stuck kind of down, and I could free motion quilt this whole thing. That would be the other option, just free form it all, kind of like how we did the thread painting in the last one. So that might be a little kind of interesting as well, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling the straight line, so we might just do that. That is a problem for tomorrow, as they say. So all right, you guys, I'm gonna flip you around and we'll call it an evening here. Oop, no, I'm messing it up here. There, stay. All right, so thank you guys again for joining me. I'm just really liking how this is developing. It's one of those
projects that when you start, you're just kind of like, or the block, like, man, do I like this? It's cute, I like it. But then there's a moment that you fall in love with it. And I think for me, it was yesterday when I put those two cut out flower fabrics together. When those are next to each other and cut in those nice triangles, I'm like, oh, okay, I love it. But I can feel it every time. With every block, there is a moment that I fall in love, even if I wasn't sure if I was going to. So I'm digging it. I'm liking it now. Yeah, I'm excited to get the sky, and so we'll see how that goes. So thank you guys again. I will eventually be getting this on YouTube and be streaming on YouTube again here. It's been a really busy week for us, so we're trying to just make it through. But again, thanks for hanging out with me here. It's my favorite part of the day, and you know, just crafting together, it's the best thing. So awesome. Have a great evening, you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night.